Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
We're so thrilled to have on international recording artist. He's also been a model, actor on TV and film, Julio Iglesias Jr. Julio, thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much. I'm super glad to be here. Thank you.
You know, I was telling you before we started the interview, and once again, I was admiring your guitars back behind you. But, you know, this new album, Under the Covers, I mean, wow. I mean, I gotta ask you, you know, with the different interpretations of your songs, how did you choose the songs? And then we got to talk about these awesome duets you have also on it.
Well, my friend, it wasn't easy to, you know, when Rudy, my manager, and I decided to do a big band record of all these great cover songs that everybody knows, it was the most difficult part of the whole process was just choosing 10 songs.
Right.
Because there's so many great songs. Every day when I listen to the radio, when I listen to the music, wherever I'm at, I always say to myself, wow, this song would have been great for the record. So the cool thing about this album is that I can do volume 1, 2, 3, 4, because there will always be those great songs that we can do in this big band type production, you know?
Right. The mix is incredible. I mean, and your voice sounds so good on all of it. And, you know, once again, you know, the album just released, you know, on this past Valentine's, but come on, like your and Jules' voice together on Careless Whisper, it's like it's just a perfect match, Julio.
Oh, thank you. When Rudy and Mark said to me, you know, I'm gonna, because Mark, my manager, is good friends with Jewel, and when he proposed the duet to Jewel and Jewel agreed to do it, I was super excited because first of all, I've been a big fan of Jewel my whole life.
Right.
I grew up. I remember my college years in the '90s, listening to all of her songs and just being a big fan. And when she agreed to do the duet with me, which is one of my favorite songs on the record. You know,
Yes.
It's one of those songs that my dad sang this song. I've always been a big fan of George Michael. And when she said yes when she agreed to do the duet with me, and then I heard the final product, I was super, super excited, and I was super impressed with the vocals and the way that, like you just said, the way the vocals blended together. It's just one of my favorite songs on the record, actually.
You know, there's no bad ones though. I got to tell you, Julio, because like, you know, with your interpretation of What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, and also, you know, your other duets like you did with Brian McKnight, and also with the, you know, late Benny, you know, it's just all these songs are so strong. It's like going, and I'm a horrible dancer. I mean, you can ask any of my friends or family, and this album made me want to dance.
Oh, wow.
Just sitting in my chair listening to it, because the arrangements are just such a departure, even like your Billy Joel song, such a departure from the standard, you know, way the songs were done originally, as you and I, you know, grew up with.
We wanted, you know what? We wanted to keep the song very original, but when it came to the production, we wanted to make it special, different, you know. Right. And I think we actually we were able to do that, because it's not easy to do something different, to do something that catches people's ear in the sense that, wow, this sounds great, it sounds different, I like it. There's so many different types of music out there nowadays, and so many different artists, that just to do something different is not easy, you know. It's not easy.
But also what I like about this, Julio, is that, you know, it is different. You know, it's taking great songs in the first place, and then, you know, with the full horn section, which I love. You know, I think the only challenge, you know, is you're going to have to pull like a Michael Bublé, to where you're going to have to take a full orchestra out on tour with you this year, you know, and they're going to have the suits and the whole, you know, little stanchions, you know, with the stands in front. How are you going to pull this off for this tour with this album?
You're totally right. I mean, when you do this type of record with a big band, when you got 15, 20 musicians playing on each song,
right?
Plus all the beautiful background vocals. It's not easy to put everybody together and do a tour with like a 20-piece band. You know, it's not easy. I've done it. I've done the 20-piece band, and I've done the acoustic set with just 2 guitars. So, you know, I've done the in between, just 10 people. So depends on where you go, depends on what type of venue you kind of decide what type of show you want to do, you know.
Well, you know, and obviously with you based out of Miami and born and raised originally, you know, in Madrid, Spain, first thing I thought, watching these videos and watching some of your performances, I thought, I think Julio could sell out a Las Vegas residency, you
I
know,
would love to.
and I mean, it just seems like this is one of those shows. And with your, depth of music, and especially with this new album Under the Covers, I think this would be a great one for Vegas.
You know what? It's funny that you say that, because in the 90s, when I was going to school, in Northern California. I used to go see my father play in the Caesar's Palace, where he used, where he used to do 15 shows in a month.
Right.
And I used to spend like just a week with him during my little spring break and on the weekends. And I used to see my dad sing all these great songs that I actually also sing now on tour. A lot of his great hits, all these great songs that I grew up listening to. And Vegas is one of those places, like you just said, where you can totally do this type of show where it fits perfect in a venue just like in Vegas.
Well, and your voice, I think, just continues to sound better, much like, your father's did also. I found it very interesting as a young child, hanging out and going out on tour with him. And then years later, you are actually on tour with your dad, and you're on tour with Cher. And so it's like, this evolution. And I just wonder for you how it feels now, as your career is, I mean, just getting bigger and bigger right now. There's such a buzz, particularly when you have duets with Jewel and all these other great artists. How does it feel now for you becoming, in your own right?
You know what? My friend, I grew up in a musical state of mind where I used to travel with my dad, see my dad on tour since I was 8, 9, 10 years old. I've seen him play in stadiums, in just huge venues. I recorded my first record in 1998. Mm-hmm. Then I did my Spanish rock record, which I still love. Then I've done some other records. I do believe that now I'm going to be 50 years old in 20 days. I do believe that now is where I really found my place in music, where I found something that I truly love, singing all these great songs in this style that I just did this record in the big band. This is really, really what all these great years of music in my life have led to, just this type of show, music, and just feeling, for sure.
You seem so comfortable with all the songs and with everything too. And your band is amazing. But yeah, it seems like this is really a sweet spot for you, Julio. I mean, it's like, it's hard to believe, 50 years old, because it's like, you look young, you sound better than ever, but, musically, these songs really seem to fit you. And I think they're really going to hit an audience that is looking for this kind of music. Like myself, it's like, I love the songs, but I like hearing a new arrangement too. I like the full band with with the horns, with the backup singers, with the full instrumentation. Yeah. And it's just, it makes the songs new, and your voice is just so strong on them. First thing I thought after listening to the whole, I was like going, he's going to have to do like Under the Covers again. It's like you're already going to have to start working on your next album on this.
That's one of the reasons why I love this, because it's just like never ending. I feel like this type of music, this type of genre of big band, it's never ending. Volume 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I can do a volume just my dad's greatest hits, big band style.
Right.
From When I Need You to It's Impossible to all these great songs. I know I need a Madonna song on volume 2. I needed Michael Jackson song.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. It's like going, you're going to have to like take requests from all of your fans, and it's like going, okay, what would you like to hear on the next one, for this album? Sure. But I mean, it's so diverse in your choices on this one. It's going to be hard to beat. And I think you're going to hit a great younger audience, because, a lot of younger people now are really getting into the horns and, certainly the jazzier feel that you brought with this. And so you're going to be, just like your father had done, but in your own way. You're going to have a broad audience. You're going to have the young people, and you're going to have people our age and older.
I love it. Can you imagine if I did one of my dad's greatest hits, which is To All the Girls We've Loved Before, Right. I did it with another great artist in this type of genre. It would be amazing, things like that.
Totally. Well, and also I got to brag on you. Not many artists can actually, do the songs in 4 different languages.
Yeah, that's another one. I love to sing. It's not easy. It's not easy, but I love to sing in Spanish. Spanish is my
Right.
first language. I
Right.
love to sing in Spanish, which that's another whole different. Oh my God, can you imagine? Now I have to do the whole record in Spanish.
But I think that was great though, is also an underserved audience, Julio, to where if you can bring these songs and everything once again that all of us grew up with, and that you can do them in Spanish, or you can do them in English, or you can do them in French or
French,
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
It's like, how many artists can do that? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I do well to work English, and you're able to sing in all the 4 of these different languages, and it's like going, I mean, you're going to be busy the rest of your life doing this.
Yeah, you can spend a lot of time in the studio, that's for sure.
You're almost going to have to, cherry pick, you and Rudy are going to go, okay, here's the direction. But I just got a feeling, I know how well the album, is doing already. I've got to ask you, are you going to probably do some more music videos with this also, Julio?
Oh yeah, we definitely want to do more music videos. We want to do more duets. We want to do this is like we've been saying, it's like never ending, never ending.
Right. Well, and also, I know with the big tour that you're going to have planned, possibly when you're in the cities where some of these artists on, who knows, you may have guests on stage also.
Oh, I would love that. That's actually, that's one of the funnest parts of being a recording artist. When you go on tour, when you get to sing with other people on stage, when you get to travel, when you get to just go to places. Even though I've been to probably everywhere in the U.S. And actually, when I went on tour with Cher, we did like 30 cities in the U.S. I mean, it was crazy.
You said that
crazy.
I'm hanging with my buddy, Scott. When I was on tour with Cher, you realize how huge that is, right? I mean, that is Cher.
I was very young. Wow, I was very young. I'm just trying to remember. That was 1998. Can you imagine? Wow. Yeah. And then after that, I remember going on a world promotional tour where I did over 65 countries with my English record. 65 countries all over Asia, Malaysia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Philippines, Singapore, India, all of South America, all of Europe.
Wow.
That was like a 2.5 year promotional tour.
Well, and in your spare time, you also won Gone Country on CMT.
Yeah, that was 2008.
In spare time.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun episode in my life. I got to go to Nashville. I got to write some great songs with some great songwriters, and I'll never forget it. Yeah, I have it actually. I have my award right down here.
I got a feeling you're going to have to make room. You may have to move the guitars and the awards to get ready for more awards, and also with the tour and all this stuff. Because I got a feeling, with this album, I think you're hitting a sweet spot.
I hope so, my friend. Thank you.
Well, and once again, too, listening to it, and I'm going to be adding it to my playlist. But you might want to consider putting this thing out on vinyl too, just for some of the people that still like to have the records and have the lyrics in there, and
that would be nice.
Pictures with you and all the duets.
How music has changed from when we were growing up. It's so different now. It's so different now. It's like it's a whole different industry, and it would be nice to go retro again, and like the good old times when when music was different, when it was just different. Not
everything old is new again.
Better, just different.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, your approach to this album is just amazing. I know that our viewers are going to definitely want to add it to their playlist and get a hard copy. And when you do the vinyl, they're going to want that and to come see you live on tour with this, because I want to see that. And so, for Under the Covers, I got to make sure, for our viewers, where's the best, website and social media so they can keep up with everything with you.
My Instagram, which is what I really work on every single day, is Julio Jr. Official, Julio Jr. Official, and they can find everything there. Pretty much my whole life is in there.
Well, I'll tell you what, but not your whole life, because these songs I'm so impressed, Julio, with what you and your producer and the entire band and orchestra have done. It's just, we may have to hang out and talk about, the volumes 2, 3, and 4 that are going to come from this down the road.
I would love for you to give me any input on any songs that you might think would be great for volume 2.
Well, I think that your choices on volume 1 are just amazing. So it's going to be hard to beat. It's what a great album, and so thrilled that you put this together, and you're so passionate about it, and your voice and the duets and everything are just amazing. So Julio Iglesias Jr., thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see you live.
Thank you. See you soon, my friend. Thank you.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.